I just jumped off the interview with a guy who did multiple seven figures in his 20s. And what's really interesting about it is that he's using a model where you don't need to build personal brand, you don't need to post content, you don't need to do cold DMs, you don't even need to do like offer creation yourself. Obviously, there is still work involved, but it is by far the best model that I've seen, because so far I was told that you need to do it through your personal brand. And honestly, I made over $400,000 all thanks to my personal brand and posting content consistently. But I think this shift and this approach will blow your mind. I interviewed him in my group, but I downloaded the interview, edited, and I wanted to post it here on YouTube so that you can watch it as well. So enjoy. Welcome everyone. First of all, help me in welcoming my man Josh. He might not be super known here in my circles, but he is very well known outside. This young fella right here did over seven figures online. So Josh, first of all, welcome. Nice to have you here, brother.
Thanks for having me. It's an honor. Excited to break things down and really reveal something brand new that's going to help people earn a lot online. So it's going to be fun.
Absolutely, brother. So I'm curious because I mean, I've been following you on Facebook for I don't even know how long. I've been seeing your posts for a while, probably like a couple of years. I assume a lot of people here don't know you. So briefly, like in 2, 3 minutes, can you tell us a bit about you, about your journey, and how did you
Yeah.
get here, man?
Yeah. So yeah, my name is Josh Gavin. I'm 23 years old, just turned 23 a week ago. And I actually started making money online when I was 14. And I've documented the whole process on my Facebook profile. Like you said, you've been seeing my posts for a while, and I've been posting there for almost 8 years now. And how I originally got in the game was through e-commerce. All the drop shipping gurus, they wrote me in with their ads, and that was the big hype back then. And so I was early to that trend and didn't make any crazy money there, but I learned a lot of marketing skill sets that I was able to transition into doing agency work. And that's where I really made my real money and started, doing this full time. And so I did agency work, and then eventually I transitioned right before COVID into info products and running info offers that way. First client I ever worked with was Dan Henry, and then went on to work with many other seven-figure earners and gurus and experts that everybody knows and looks up to. If you go to my YouTube channel, you'll see, Iman Godzi, who I interviewed and I was connected with and helped a lot of his students, and Robbie Ovala, Jordan Platten, Jason Fladlin, Alan Sultanich, like you name it, I either worked with them, interviewed them, or been in their circles. And so behind the scenes, I've just kind of been running things that way. And now, bringing things more public and how I've been able to do this and how I'm really making my money now. And yeah, it's been really fun and really been an implementer of the game. And I love just sharing with other implementers what I'm doing and just see them duplicate it. So that's really the snapshot of how I got into this and what I've been able to accomplish.
Good, that's crazy. I didn't know you started with Dan Henry, and
Yeah.
that's crazy. That's awesome.
Yeah.
By the way, folks, if you're watching live, I see Leslie, Chris here. Drop us hashtag live. If you're on the replay, I assume most people usually watch replays nowadays, so drop us hashtag replay. Let us know you're here. So, Josh, before we dive into like personal
Yeah.
arbitrage, I hear one question. I've seen you crush it. That's how I saw you actually on Facebook. Every like couple of days, you were just sharing these funnels, usually low ticket, like,
Yeah.
just like crushing every funnel, everything. So how did
Yeah.
that came to be? Were you doing this with clients, with offer publishers, with both? What was
Yeah.
well,
Yeah. So low ticket is really my bread and butter. And it's funny because I didn't realize that or really dial it in until about 2 years ago. But back in 2020, I worked on a funnel for a company called Piano for Producers. And I architected an offer, meaning I came up with what the stack should be, how we should price it, the upsells, the downsells, everything. Came up with all of that for that company. And that was back when I was doing client work. So I sold them this funnel for 15 or $2,000. $2,000. I sold them this funnel to do everything. All they had to do was just to create the product I suggested and how to format it. And so we put together that funnel, and it was a low ticket $27 product with like 47 upsell, and I think it's 67 after that. Very basic. First low ticket funnel I ever did. And they took that funnel and they did over $1 million in just 1 year. And it went on to do multiple millions more after that. And so there I am, just sitting in my parents' basement, and I had my $2,000 retainer, and I'm just constantly going into their ClickFunnels account, refreshing, and just seeing it go up and up by hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it was, my $2,000 was nothing compared to that. And so that's when I really started thinking and realized, like, man, that was cool that I made $2,000, but how can I be on the end of the expert who I had created this offer for, who was making the majority of the money? And so that started a journey to figure out, hey, how can I be the product owner? Because I realized that the people who make the most money have ownership. People who are crushing it, the ones who own it. The CEOs who run the companies and they're building the giant businesses, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and Mark Zuckerberg, they're making the most money because they own a product. And for them, software, so it's a car, a website, whatever it is, they own it. And so I quickly started looking around the game, especially online, and just realized that the people who are making the most money were ones who owned the product. But for me personally, I was like, what could I create? I didn't know what to make, because when you come up with info products, usually it's based on your own expertise or experience. But for a lot of people, especially watching this, maybe you're an affiliate marketer or a coach or, maybe a freelancer, and you look at your life and what you've done, and you may feel like I don't have a lot of experience to share with people. I'm not even sure what makes what I know different or better. And so a lot of people stay limited in that spot like I did. And so I was like, man, how could I own the product without having to depend on my own experience or my own audience or, my own life stories, so that I can run up these kind of numbers without having to spend years, figuring out what I wanted to teach. And so that's when I transitioned into what we call personal brand arbitrage. And that's when I started running these low ticket offers that you saw those wins for. That was a mixture of client work at the start, but then slowly transitioned into building these low ticket offers with other people's faces, with other people's products, with other people's audiences that I still owned a majority percentage in. And so I owned the marketing stack, I owned the email list, I owned the funnels, the ads, everything that sold the product I owned. And so I was able to be essentially a product owner without actually having to create the product. And so that's what I do full time now. I still do it today. I don't just teach it. Actually, yesterday we signed another person to what we call our portfolio, or our publishing portfolio. And this influencer has billions of views across social media and millions of followers and subscribers. What's awesome is we get to own the tech stack, the banking, the payment processor, and he's just letting us run offers that we're going to tell him to create. He's going to be the face, and we're going to run it up. And so we're still doing this now. I'm documenting in one of our programs me doing this next deal. I legit just uploaded the call recording of me closing this influencer just yesterday, just for people to see it. 'Cause I still do it. Because, think about all the people in our space that talk about a new opportunity and they hype it up, but they don't even do it anymore. They used to do it like years ago, and they're sharing it to you on the end of it because it stopped working for them. That's not the case for this. It's still working for us. It's not going anywhere. And it's been working for the last 5 years. And so this model continues to work. It shows no signs of stopping. The market isn't limited. The lead pool isn't limited. There's nothing limiting about it other than maybe not knowing and having the systems to do it. But like I said, I just document it live for everyone now. So even that's taken care of. And so that's how I transitioned from just doing client work and slaving away for my clients and for other people to now owning and having ownership and offers that I can really farm and put love into instead of having to jump from one thing to another.
That's crazy, man. I saw the post just like hour ago or so about you landing that client. That's insane. That's insane. And
Yeah.
also journey, I think I assume a lot of people here can resonate. I know I resonated. I followed you on Facebook. I saw this post, and then I saw you started promoting this like brand arbitrage model, and I was like, or offer publisher. I call it both ways.
Yeah.
Uh,
Same thing.
but I was like, damn, that really spoke to me. Because I don't know in your audience, but in my audience, there are like usually two types of people. One type, and I don't know if you noticed this because you're on Facebook also.
Mm,
You know how we get like memory pop-ups every year from what.
yeah.
So when I look back, and I started publishing in second half of 2019, so I get memories for 5 years. Every time I look, I see, I don't know, approximately 80% of people who were commenting on my post, they were like all about building a brand or whatever, publishing content, whatever
Yep.
their thing was, they're gone, right? Like they gave up. So I think big part of people maybe watching this or replay or whatever were
Yeah.
like trying this, and we all know this game is hard, right? And
Yeah.
they
Yeah,
gave
dude.
up somewhere along the way. And what's interesting is it's not just people who never made money. I have friends who did multiple six figures, multiple five figures, multiple four figures, doesn't matter. And a lot of them quit as well. So it's not
Yep.
just, okay, I didn't
Yep.
make money for a year and I gave up. Like people made serious money and
Yeah.
gave up. And then on the other end of the spectrum are more people like myself who are still like maybe not enjoying, but doing the personal branding game, like showing up, posting content, and doing everything.
Yeah.
Or basically one man show, like you do social media, content and
Yep.
marketing, sales, and offer creation and everything. And on the one hand, it's like exhausting, as I think a lot of people can know. Like, folks, let me know if you, by the way, resonate with this, uh,
Yeah.
or is it just me?
No,
And
it's not.
then on the other hand, it's well, if you stop posting and stop showing up, like this immediately reflects your income, right?
Yep. Yep.
Especially if you're on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, maybe you have some time because videos are
Yeah.
still being pushed, but on Facebook, it's like you posted today, that post is gone in 2 days. So you're really dependent on like showing up, on signing new clients every month, coming up with new angles, new marketing promotion. And I think this is from what I found. And that's, I think, what captured my attention about your model, because after you land a one, two, or three creators and they do the promotion, and obviously it's also in their best interest to promote because they're making money, you can lay hands off that and still make
Yeah.
money regardless of whether you posted this week or not.
Yeah.
So can you talk to us a bit about that? Like, how was the transition?
Yeah. And can I share my screen too? Because I'd love to kind of show people a visual of what
Just
I actually do. So let me share you guys with the screen. So
hi Rob, hi Ken, hi Ivana. Let
can you
us
see my
know
screen?
if joining is live. Yes, I can. There is
Perfect.
a delay on the live, so they will be able to.
Awesome. Yeah. So just to kind of give more context, you'll hear us throwing around the word offer publisher as what we call ourselves, and then the mechanism or the model we use is just personal brand arbitrage. And when you think about arbitrage, really what it is, what all the biggest companies in the world do. You think about Netflix when they first started, they didn't create their own movies. They were just a hub where they hosted. So back in the DVDs, you go to their site, you rent a DVD, and they would pay for the DVDs from the actual companies or the studios who create the movies, and they would just arbitrage the studio's films, and then they would make a profit on the upside. You think about Uber. Uber's another company that arbitrages. Uber doesn't own the cars. Uber's one of the largest taxi companies in the world, yet they don't own a single car on their fleet. Instead, they arbitrage our cars and they just create this app and they say, hey, you want to make money on our app? People come, they drive for them, they pick up their guests, and then Uber's making the money there. You think about Expedia or any travel site, they do the same thing. It's not like they own or are running the flights or the hotels, they're just a middleman. And so with this model, we do the same thing. Another example I love to give, which probably relates the closest to this, is music labels. It's funny when my family asks me, they're like, Josh, what do you do for a living? Like, how do you make money? Because they're always seeing me post on my Facebook and how we made $250,000 in the last few months and all this and that. And like, what do you do? And so I found the easiest way to explain this is just by saying that I'm a music label for online creators. Now, what does this mean? You think about what a music label does. The music label isn't trying to become the singer. A music label would just go out to bars or small venues and they'd look for these underground artists who had potential, who enjoyed singing and loved writing songs. And they said, hey, come sign onto our label, you sing, and then we will distribute the music you make and help you make money off your expertise. And we'll handle all of that. We'll do the concerts, the merch, your website, your socials. You just sing and be the face. And so I love that model because for me, being a marketer, and enjoying the skill set of just coming with offers and sitting behind the scenes and making money. I love that because I don't want to be on camera. I don't want to be the singer on stage with the spotlights on me. I want to be the music label, like the production guys in the back who are just turning the knobs and mixing the sounds and making the singer look good. And so that's why I love this model and offer publishing. So let me break this down and how this works. I want to give you guys a 5-step process on how you actually can get into this model and actually publish and become an offer publisher. If that sounds good, let me know in the comments below. I know I can't see it, but let me know below and I'll check it later. But I wanted to walk you guys through these 5 steps. So step number 1, we need to partner with a creator. Just how the music label will go out and they'll find the singer on stage, we need to do the same thing. And so the nice thing about this is we have sites. We're actually partnered with a company called hypetrain.io. And using this site, it's essentially a chat GPT for finding these creators. So you can go in and type in, I want a fitness influencer or a relationship coach or this and that. And it's actually going to source this creator with their email address that you can actually just connect with. And so we will then take that email address and then we're just going to reach out to this creator with a very simple offer. And the offer is we say, hey, I've got a winning idea for an offer we can sell to your audience, a digital product we can sell to your audience. And I will handle everything. I will do the marketing, the funnels, the emails, everything that required to sell it. All you have to do is just create what we tell you to create. And then we will split the profits 50-50. Would you be interested in seeing a proposal? That's pretty much, that's not the exact template that we give our private customers. That's essentially the frame of it. You guys can really condense that down and send that out there. And so you're not actually even selling something. So for all of you who are like, oh, I don't like doing cold outreach, or, oh, I don't want to be salesy, you're not literally selling anything in this process because we're going to them with a performance deal. We're saying, hey, we will only make money when we profit from what we build you. And so it's super easy to get creators to say yes to this. If we actually go over to my Discord here, where we have our students who are doing this model, in our wins channel, we have people signing deals every single day. Sign a 50-50 deal, call scheduled person, they're going to sign 70 to 220,000 followers. Jason here signed another deal with somebody. We go through this and it's so simple. It's such a simple offer for everyone's, oh man, Josh, this does outreach, how to sell. No, we're not selling. We're just going to say, hey, let's partner. Let's partner with these creators. And that's the first step, is just partnering. Now, the second step here, the second step is once we partner with this creator, we need to do something that's very important to make sure that we can make a lot of money with them. And what that is we need to capture. We need to capture their followers and their subscribers' email addresses to build a list. And this is going to pay off later when we run a launch, which we'll talk about in a second. But we just need to go to their audience and just collect their email addresses. Because a lot of these creators aren't doing anything with funnels and emails and automations. They're just doing affiliates and shout outs and brand deals. So they don't really have any infrastructure in place. And so what I'll do is I'll go to them, I'll say, hey, let's convert your followers and subscribers into emails so that we can promote to them later. And there's millions of reasons why we do this. Email is so much better than worrying about algorithms. And even in this Facebook group, I think it'll reach 10% of the people in the group. You know, the algorithms will put it down an email list. We could send this workshop out to everybody and we'll have a 40% open rate and people will see it and we can keep following up with them. And so email is so important. So what you'll do is you'll just run a very simple funnel called a waiting list funnel. And there's actually a site that you guys can do. It's called waitinglist.io. You guys can check it out, or you can just use a funnel and ClickFunnels, go high level. Essentially, it just says, hey, something big is coming, enter your email and name, and that's it. That's all we do. And so we have our creators start pushing this out there saying, yo, guys, something big is coming. This is awesome. Make sure you get on the list. And one of my business partner, Mark Lack, he actually did this for Mike Tyson. They captured emails for him because they publish offers for him. He was one of his creator partners, and they collect over like 150,000 emails within a couple of days that they are then able to promote to. And so using a simple funnel like a waiting list is so easy. So if you're like, oh, I don't want to create lead magnets, or I'm not good at building funnels, guys, if you can click copy and paste inside of ClickFunnels, go high level, Groove Funnels, whatever, you can do this step. All right, you got it. I believe in all of you.
Can I say something, one more thing? Because I think
Yeah, go ahead.
a lot of people here got used to like, but no one cares about my stuff. Like I create lead magnet and no one's interested. These creators literally have anything from like tens of thousands
Yeah.
to like hundreds of thousands of warm, nurtured people who
Yes.
have goodwill and no like and trust with them. So it's if you ever
Keep
saw
going.
some like stupid post and you're like, how does this work? And I put so much effort into mine and it doesn't. It's usually because they have the authority, the goodwill, the know, like, and trust, and you don't. So you're literally hacking into their years of creating
Yes.
that like audience and loyalty and so.
Yes, exactly. And that's where the arbitrage comes in place. We're trying to take the shortcut. I don't want to spend years trying to build my brand. I don't want to spend years trying to, crack Facebook ads and a ton of money trying to do that. I want a shortcut. So what am I going to do? I'm going to partner with a creator who has already built the audience, who already has the traffic, who has already built the trust. And I'm going to go to them and I'm going to do a deal where I can get a cut of what we're doing. And so that's why the first step is we want to partner with those people who have that audience. And then we will capture their emails. And the next and third step is to extract. So step 3, extracting. What do I mean by extracting? As an offer publisher, your job isn't even to create offers. A lot of people think, oh, I can't do info offers for creators because I'm not good at creating offers. I don't know how to create an offer. Guys, I've done like 450 offers in the last 12 months. And my real secret to that is that I don't try to create offers. Instead, I focus on extracting them, because extracting something that's already been created is a lot easier than having to create it yourself. I think about oil fields, right? When an oil company goes to an oil field, they're not creating oil. They're not manufacturing the oil. They're simply putting a machine on the field. They're drilling into the ground and they're extracting that oil from the earth to then sell it. That is what you do as an offer publisher. You go to the creator and you go into their life and you say, hey, what is something you're an expert at? Or what is something your audience keeps asking you for that you could teach on or do? Or you say, hey, what is a case study in your life where you got a certain result or a transformation that your audience would also want? And we would ask them that question and we would extract that and then help them put together a product and say, okay, let's do an ebook on it. Let's do a course on it. Let's do a challenge on that. And with the creators that we partner with, we usually make sure they have some sort of expertise or some sort of audience in wealth, health, or relationships where they could teach that transformation. So for all of you, oh, I can't create offers. Good. You don't have to. You're simply going to go to your creator, ask them, hey, what does your audience want from you? What would they like more of from you? What's an outcome they would want? You're going to extract that. And then you're going to decide, hey, are we going to do a membership? Are we going to do a high ticket, low ticket, mid ticket? And that's very easy to do. Usually that just is based on what your creator would like to fulfill on. So that's step 3, very, very simple. Now, after step 3, what we do is we will actually, and this is a big one. A lot of people watching this, you're going to like this because some of you are like, Josh, I'm not good at writing copy. Oh, I'm not good at building funnels, blah, 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 all this stuff. Like, guys, it's going to be okay because step 4, we're going to outsource. Now, the beautiful thing about this model is the fact that you don't have to do everything. Like for me, one of the things I hate is design. I hate doing design. I hate doing mock-ups. I hate designing funnels. I'm not skilled at it. I can write copy. I can do that, but I do not like having to actually design the graphics. And so what I did is I partnered with the creator, and then I went to some contractors who were used to only getting paid $1,000 for a project or $2,000 for a project. And I said, hey, I'm getting a 50% cut from whatever I make on this deal. I'll give you 10% of that 50, or I'll give you 20% 50 if you help me build out all the funnels, if you help me with all the tech stack. And these contractors, since they're so used to only getting paid $1,000 for all this work, like I did. Remember when I built that funnel where I only charged $2,000 and went on to make millions? There are so many other people just like me back then who would love to get on a deal where they have upside, where they have percentage. And so you can actually go to these people. In our program, we have a whole list of our vetted contractors where they will handle all your deals. And you don't have to pay them any money up front. Let me say that again. You don't have to pay them any money up front. You only pay them once you're launched, after you launch, which is going to be the next step here. After you launch this product, it makes money and you get your cut, then they would get their cut. And so you can get all the work done, the marketing work done, and essentially just be a broker for these deals. And my business partner, Mark Lack, who I've mentioned before, he's also the person who taught me this model and is helped, and he's one of the coaches inside of our program at offerpublisher.com. This is what he does. He was a broker. So when he worked with Mike Tyson, Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather, all those big names, he wasn't the one building all the marketing funnels and tech stack. He was simply just outsourcing it to an agency who did, and he would just bring the creator to them, and then he got his cut. So you're practically not having to do any of the deep work or the muddy work, and you're just getting a cut from whatever is made. It's a beautiful thing. So you can outsource all of it, or you can just outsource some of it. I'm at the stage, since I do marketing and I'm used to it, where I just outsource the stuff I don't like to do. And so you can just look at it and just ask yourself, man, what part of internet marketing do I not enjoy doing? And can I just outsource it? Now, the next step is launching it. So now that we've partnered with the creator, we have a deal set up where we get 50% of the profits. We've turned their subscribers and followers into emails. We've come up with an offer idea by just extracting it. We've outsourced all the marketing stuff that we don't like doing. Now it's time to launch it. Now, here's the beautiful part about step 5. Since this creator has already built that know and trust with their audience, we are going to promote this back to their audience right off the bat. So we're not going to go to cold traffic. We're not going to run paid ads at all. All right. We're not running paid ads at this step. We're going to their warm audience. And with a warm audience, you can be a really bad marketer and copywriter and still make a lot of money. Man, I remember one of our creator partners, we had about 5,000 people on Facebook, 2,000 on email, a couple thousand more on another profile, a few affiliates. And we did $100,000 in a single week with just that small audience. Why? Because it was an audience that knew and trust the creator. And we weren't doing high ticket either. This was a $2,000 product. You could do the math and just see, man, how many people did you enroll? That's crazy. It'd be one thing if it was like we had a 10K offer, we just enrolled 10 people. So no, we pushed 50 plus units in a single week for this offer. And so you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm not good at launching. I don't know how to do launches. Bro, most creators, if they just put a link in their bio and say, hey, I just dropped something, people would just buy it just because. Like if you look at Kylie Jenner, who's her makeup company, how $1 billion net worth, she would just put up her makeup that she didn't make, she didn't create. I got this thing launched and sold out within minutes. And obviously you're not going to maybe have a creator at that size, to that level, but even with somebody who's got this deep and micro audience, there can still be that same kind of love for that creator where whatever they put out there, they'll just buy. I just have people on my list where anything I put out there, they'll just buy. It doesn't matter.
That's crazy. I
So
think people, sorry to interrupt.
no, go ahead. You're good.
I was going to say, I think a lot of people here didn't experience that. It's not that easy. I mean, that's why I guess you created this model. It's not easy to create that kind of audience that knows, likes.
Takes a long time.
And not to mention, since you mentioned you started some of this in 2020, I think even before, obviously it was getting more and more people with internet and everything like getting easier and easier. But since COVID and since people were forced to come online and since TikTok, it just gotten worse. It's like there's so much creators right now and you're competing with everyone and their mother, and they don't need to be your direct competition, like whatever you sell, because you're still competing for attention, whether someone will scroll on TikTok or watch or watch this interview or something else. Like we're always competing. So that part is getting progressively more difficult. And when you tap into the creator that has that, it's like bypassing years of like building that know, like, and trust and goodwill.
Exactly. And it's funny, you think about the 3 pillars that make a successful offer. You need the offer, the product, you need the funnel, and then you need traffic. But if you think about it, the offer, like the product, like we said, we can extract it from a creator. We can go to anybody and get a product. Even if for affiliate marketers, you can go on ClickBank and have access to, tons of products. Doesn't mean they're all good, but you can get a ton of products ready to go. And so that's not the hard part. Funnels, dude, Go High Level and ClickFunnels are practically giving away funnels. So coming with funnels, that's simple. You can go and get a ton of templates for just like $1 or even for free. But the traffic, that's the hard part, right? That's the part that either takes a ton of time or a lot of money. So you can either buy it, you can build it, or you can become an offer publisher and just borrow it. And so I would rather be in the business of just borrowing someone else's hard work to make me a bunch of money than having to build it or buy it myself. And that's the beauty of this model. You're essentially taking a shortcut, avoiding years of having to build a personal brand, building a product, or doing all the work of being the face of the product, and just skipping to the fun part where you can launch and start earning. And so that's why I love this model. That's why I do it full time, and I will continue to do it. And why I think other people should get into it as well too, because I know there's so many, affiliate marketers where, you're doing all this work, pushing all this traffic and just getting a measly commission. You think about the coaches who do all the calls, the coaching calls, the sales calls, and then post the content, be in the groups and do the dance. And then, all right, bro, I get it, and some people are okay with that. That's fine. There's a time and a place for that. But at some point you get burnt out. Like you see these guys that are always like, we're retiring from our coaching business, or like very few people stick in it. It's so funny. And they know there's only so long that you can go at that. Very few people have stuck around very long. A few are like Tony Robbins, he stayed in the game for a long time. He's one of the only people that has stayed in it for a long time, but he's just crazy. He's one of those people that are just, you're not going to be like him. Everyone else, they go for a while and they end up like phasing out or closing things down and moving on, moving their money elsewhere. And my encouragement to you guys is start now. Don't wait till later. Don't wait and worry if tech is going to replace what you're doing right now. Don't wait around and say, I'll figure out later. Start making the moves now so it can pay off even bigger later. And I'm so happy I've made the switch. And it's so fun to see all the freelancers and affiliate marketers and coaches who finally have something that they can put love into and own and control without the weight of having to do everything and wear all the hats. So obviously there's parts which aren't sexy and aren't fun, but the pros outweigh all the other cons and everything else of any other model I've tried before. So that's why I'm a biased, strong believer in it.
Yeah, I mean, if someone promises you like zero work and like all the upside, obviously
Yeah,
there are
this
all the
scam.
downsides. Yeah.
Yeah, you still got to reach out to creators. You still have to, get on the call with them and send them a proposal. And obviously, there's things and templates we've created that's made that a lot easier. But you still have to put in some effort. But the nice part is you don't have to put in all the extra effort of the brand building, paying for ads, all the other stuff that makes people quit. Like you were talking about, why people don't stay in this game. It's for those reasons. So we can just avoid all of that and stay in this game longer.
Yeah, so I'm curious now because you're doing this and I want to do that. So for people who maybe still want to build their personal brand, but again, don't want their entire income to be dependent on
Hmm.
whether they posted yesterday or like I shared this with you, like my father had a stroke and it's totally disturbed my schedule and everything I need to do. And like I
Yeah.
have to publish less and I have less time and less energy and less focus and all this stuff. And obviously this happens for all of us, like life can happen. So I'm
Mhm.
curious for people who still want to build their personal brand, whether they're affiliates, coaches,
Mhm.
consultants, doesn't matter, and want to do this on the side. Like, how does that look? Because you obviously still
Yeah.
are building your personal brand. So how do you manage it?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I just like with my personal brand, I built my personal brand by just doing publishing and then sharing my wins. And then I just built an audience of people who love seeing wins and learning from me. And so that's a nice thing where you have money from your publishing company that gives you more of that time or resources to build up your personal brand. Or I know some publishers, which I've done this too, but they'll start podcasts where they will interview creators and use that as a lead gen for their publishing company. So they're building a podcast, making money from that, or just building up views and getting that dopamine hit there. But then after the podcast is over, they're pitching these creators on their publishing company. So it's two in one. You could do both at the same time. And so you look at the interviews I've done on my channel with the people, like that was partly strategic because I was able to ask them for deals or if they had referrals or whatever. And it works great. And so, yeah, you can do it at the same time and just use what you're doing in the wins or do a podcast or post to still build up an audience of people who want to follow you.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. So, by the way, folks, if you're enjoying this, let us know below. And let us know if you have any questions on either this in general or any particular part of it. I'll try to like assume the questions you will have, so I will ask Josh. So I think another big thing that comes up is like money. Sorry, time.
Mm,
Let's say someone is okay, but I'm busy. Like I'm already managing personal brand kind of, and maybe they have a job. So how do I manage now this another thing? Because I heard
mm.
from a few people who are like, yeah, I'm quite busy right now.
So obviously, I like focusing on one thing at a time. I like to just go all in on one thing. But one thing I'd encourage you, if you guys are interested in doing something like this, is keep going with what you have right now if you want to, and keep stacking cash and build up like an emergency fund where you can save up and know you have 1 to 3 months where you don't have to make any money. And then you can go cold turkey on your old thing and go full time into this and then scale it up. And so that's one way I've seen people do. Another way too is when I first started my publishing company, I was still dealing with clients, which was a lot of work. And so I only had about 1 to 2 hours a day to work on getting my next publishing deal and building that up. And so I just spent 1 to 2 hours Monday through Friday working on it. And until it replaced my client money, where I was able to fire all my clients and go all in on this. So you can just slowly transition. You don't have to just drop everything right away. You can do both at the same time, or you can transition over safely if that makes you more comfortable. But at the end, once your offer is live and I outsource, like once I do the launch step 5, I hand everything off to an agency or contractors to keep scaling it, and then I move on to the next deal. So really, you just have to sprint for 60 to 90 days, depending on your experience, how good you are, how much work you put into it. 60 to 90 days, get the offer out there validated, then hand it off to an agency and they can promote it and optimize the funnel and do all that boring work. And then just they get a cut, right? Or you can pay them out of pocket using the profits from the launch. So there's ways to make it so that you're not having to spend a full-time hours on the model.
Yeah, I love that. So Rob is asking, are you launching just to the waiting list or to everyone in creators?
Everyone, yeah. So waiting list, which you'll get most of your sales from the waiting list, but you do want to go on socials just in case. And it also reminds people to go check their email in case they missed it. So you'll run the promo on both the email and any social media that they have. But email is going to drive a majority of the money. And then know that you should have urgency and scarcity and close the cart. Say like, hey, we only have this many spots. And then you will close the cart at a certain point and you'll see a majority of your sales coming in on that last day. And then once you close the cart, you'll come back, you'll refine the product, make it better, add testimonials from the first launch. Then you'll relaunch it to the audience a few weeks later. So you'll do a second launch to pocket more profits. And then you'll relaunch it evergreen. So that time when you relaunch it, there's no urgency. It's just, hey, it's live now. And then that's the point where you'd start scaling it up.
Yeah, and I know that you mentioned you can do all sorts of offers. Like you can do whatever, membership, you can do high ticket.
Yep.
That's a fun part. Because if you run like a membership, like obviously you're getting money from creator, plus it's like on monthly basis. And I think
Yes.
it's one easy way to get it like stack of income, which is the safety. I don't know, I'm obsessed. I talked before. I'm like, I would rather get like recurring $50 than $1,000 sale. I don't know why I'm like
Feels good.
but yeah. So by the way, folks, again, if you have any questions like Rob or anything else, I'm trying to remember what else people asked me about this. So one of the questions, I think you kind of addressed it, but maybe we can dive a bit deeper into it, was uh for affiliates mainly here, because coaches, I assume they already did some of these things. But let's say if you're an affiliate and maybe people didn't launch their own offer and they're like, how am I gonna help creator if I never launched my own offer? Maybe they feel a bit of imposter syndrome or insecurity around it.
Yeah.
They're just unsure. So what would you tell them?
One of my mentors once told me that you don't need to be a good copywriter. You just need to know what good copy is. And this was a point where I was debating if I should really focus on copy or just use AI because AI is so good. And so when it comes to offer creation, you don't have to be good at creating offers. You just need to know when it's a good offer. And then the thing is, when you're an affiliate marketer, your income is directly related to how good you are at spotting good offers. Because you're vetting, is this a good offer? How are the numbers? Is this going to fit with the market? How big is the market? That's all you do all day long. You're just vetting good offers. And then you're going to an audience, you're sending traffic, and you're making audiences offers to come buy this product. Like some people get confused with product and offer. No, as an affiliate marketer, you're making offers all day long to get people to buy a product. For everyone saying that, you really check yourself. You're literally an offer creator, affiliate marketer. Your whole job is making offers. Your ads offer to get them to click the link. Then on the funnel, oh, you have to make an offer to opt in into their email. Then you have to offer something to get them to buy. Then on your email launches, you have to do the same thing. So all day long, you're just making offers. And so the real question that these people are probably asking is, I'm not good at creating products. I don't know a product to create. That's not your job. That's a creator's job. And your job is to just extract ideas, which you're already really good at as an affiliate marketer, for this creator to make. And then you just keep doing what you're currently doing. So your skills transition over easily. So that's why I think it's a perfect model for people who have been coaches, affiliate marketers. If you've dabbled in internet marketing or marketing it anyway, closers, setters, you're going to be able to do this because you can tell the difference between a good and bad offer and what a market would or wouldn't like.
I love it, man. And I guess another big one is money is tight right now. Should invest to learn more. I don't know if I should do it. And I saw, obviously, not saying everyone will get this result, but just yesterday I saw that you shared with just one partnership in just a few months. You did almost $250,000 with one partner. Again, I'm not saying
Yep.
their
Yep.
first partner will bring them that, right? But even if it's 10%, that's 25K.
And
Yeah.
obviously you split that in half and you pay, and that's still 5 figures. That's still more than
Yeah.
95% of people make around. I don't know what's your experience, but in my experience, about 9 out of 10 people online don't make any money. I'm not even joking. I'm like dead serious. So it's
Yeah.
like, even if you like half-ass the offer and or creator, there's some numbers I guess people can expect if they're more worried on the money side as opposed to like time.
Yeah. So it really depends on how big your creator is. What we've noticed is about 3% of your creator's audience will opt in and go onto the email list. And then 1 to 3% of those people who opt in will purchase whatever you're buying. So you can really just do the math before you even sign a creator and be like, okay, if we only get 3% of the people onto the email list and just 1% of them buy a $1,000 offer, how much money could I make? And so that's how you can really start doing it. And then you just say, okay, we're not running ads. The only expense would be $97 for ClickFunnels or Go High Level. So the profits would be X, and then we'll split that 50-50, and you can just do the math that way. That's like the average. It's not the guarantee, but that's just average marketing numbers that people are used to and see. And then that's just the email list. That doesn't include people we get off socials as well. But I try not to do much math on the social piece of it just because you never know what the algorithm will be like that day. But it still sends a lot of traffic. And so we have a student who did this, and smaller creator wasn't even that big, but they did a $28,000 launch and he was able to split 50-50 his in a week. They ran a launch in a week and they made that money. The interview's on my channel if you guys want to see the whole story. Josh Gavin, you can go watch it. So yeah, it varies, but it really just depends how big your creator is. That's pretty much it. You can just do the math and see. And ideally, what you want to launch is a product that has an average cart value of $50 to $100 if it's low ticket. Or ideally, I try to partner with people I can launch like a $500 to $2,000 offer because then we don't need a sales team, but we still collect a lot of cash up front. So I like to do the math, assuming if we sold a 1K offer, how much could we make on their audience?
So it's, if it's 100K audience and you get 3,000 emails, and then you can make 30K maybe with $1,000 offer or something like that. Uh,
Yep.
which is just
Yeah.
on the launch and which is without social media.
Yeah, we're just talking launch. It's like there's ongoing sales. Then what you do is you take 10 to 20% of the money you make on the launch, you put it into a savings account or a separate account for when you want to run ads. Then you use the money from organic to run ads. So it's not coming out of your pocket. And you just run up the ads that way too. We're just talking the launch here. But if you think about, man, for copywriters, affiliate marketers, like when have you ever made 15K? Say you did 30,000, you split it 50-50. Like when's the last time you made 15K in a week for just a couple of weeks of work, just building out a funnel? Or even if you outsource it, you may not even have to be building the funnels and you get your cut. So it's not a bad deal when you look at how much you're able to outsource.
Yeah, and especially I think things get even more interested because obviously you find a creator, you do the work, and
Yep.
then you're hands off, like for the majority, let's say maybe
Yeah.
5-10% work, and then you land another and another, and then it just stacks up over time. Doing this for years, so you know this.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. You can have multiple. Like I think every 90 days I try to sign and launch a new offer. So by the end of the year, I have about 3 to 4 offers by the finishing year. And so that's my goal. Launch evergreen, boom, 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 and just keep going and stacking. Obviously, I know, but I also know some people. Like I interviewed another dude on my channel. He's doing 50,000 a day with just one offer. So I know some people where they don't even need multiple offers. You can just have one offer and run it up. And that's like with cold traffic. So I don't know. You could choose. Do you want to go really hard on one offer, or do you want to be crazy like me and do a bunch?
That's amazing, like 50K a day.
A day, 200,000 front end buyers. It's a low ticket funnel, no high ticket, no sketchy supplements, nothing weird, no claims. It's insane. It's just a good product with a great creator on the front end who has an audience that knows, likes, and trusts her, and people buy it.
That's crazy. And I guess another thing that I like about this is I think a lot of us here just got used to like make money online niche, and you don't need to go like when you market to marketers, like they know all the tactics, everything,
Yeah.
right? And I think it's a bit easier when you go outside because I spent 6 years in make money online, and ironically,
Mhm.
I teach people what I'm doing, like all the influence stuff and everything,
Yep.
and it's they know what you're doing. And I think
Yep.
when you go to like health or
Yeah.
relationships or anything else, it's like the same skills just gives you better returns.
Yep. Yep. Exactly. Exactly. So it's cool what you can do. You can go to any market. I know some people are like pet longevity. pet insurance. There's so many weird things you get into. And for me, I want to publish e-commerce. So I'm going to go to creators and I'm going to do an info offer with them, but then we're going to build an e-commerce company on the back end. So I'm going to get into e-commerce, and we won't have, the nice thing is I can get into e-commerce cheaper, because with e-commerce, there's a lot of expense for marketing. But if we already have a warm audience, you think about like Feastables and Mr. Beast, and they're launching their physical products at so easily because they already have a big audience. So that's my next step. So the nice thing about offer publishing is it goes past it. Also, Mark Lack, my business partner, he has a company called Hero Pixel, and he published that one. He found a software developer who had a good product. He and his partner, who usually does info, they went to him and they said, hey, we'll scale up your company, just give us equity. And now they're going to exit it for over 10 million. So you're going to go into software. So the game is endless. Whereas you think of people are pushing affiliate marketing, copywriting, coaching, it's like, what's the next step? Like, they never tell you, where's the finish line? Because you're not going to be wanting to be sending emails your whole life and out here in ClickBank all day long until you're 60, 70, 80 years old. They never tell you what the next step is, because they don't know. They've never gotten there. There is no next step. It just fades out. But what's nice about this model is there are people like Mark Lack, who's mentored me and coached me, taught this, who has shown me the next step, where he was able to retire for 6 months and he got bored and came back. He was able to invest into things like crypto, where now he has a multiple 8-figure net worth and bought a Lambo Urus cash into the indent his net worth, and he can hang out with his wife and his kids and has a house paid off. And now he's in software and all, like, he's found the finish line. And so that's what I love about this model is there's a finish line. There's a next step. There's a point where it pays off, where you can exit and really set up and build legacy, where like, really, you're going to build legacy just writing copy when you're 60 years old in Google Docs forever. Like, you really are going to be, you're going to be saying, sorry, honey, we can't go on vacation because I have to run an affiliate launch and I have to sit at home and be in ClickBank when you're 50 years old. Like, really? Do you even think ClickBank will be here in 50 years? Like, without AI and everything going on, what won't go away is brands and personal brands and relationships with people and good products that will never go away. You need to figure out a way to get as close as possible to those brands, to those products. And if you don't want to create yourself, then you have to arbitrage it. And so to do that, you have to become an offer publisher. You either choose to build it, buy it, or you can borrow it. And the easiest way, the simplest way, with no startup costs to get close to product and to get ownership, is to borrow it and to be an offer publisher.
That's awesome, man. I love that. So, folks, I don't want to keep Josh too long. If you have any questions, let us know. Josh, so for folks interested, okay, Josh, you sold me. Okay, I'm interested. How can I become offer publisher? Can you share briefly what you and Mark are doing, how you're helping people, etc.? How can they learn more? How can they do more, etc.?
Yeah, so first we thought we could take like the classic route where it's like, hey, let's run a course. And let's do a course and we can have coaching calls. Duh, that's what people do. But I don't know, like, not every, like, I think about the courses I bought and didn't consume, and the group coaching calls I'd skip because there's too many on the calendar. And so we thought about doing that, but then we're like, let's do something more. Let's really blow people away. And so what we did is we essentially created a spot where you can actually have our help to partner on deals with you. So for $997, same price as a course, but more than a course, you'll get in and you're going to have direct access to myself to be your offer advisor, to actually come on and help structure your deals, go get the creators, go negotiate it, figure out what their product should be and launch it. You'll have direct access one-on-one with me inside Discord to chat and work on your deals, review your copy, review your funnels, everything. Pretty much your pocket CMO is what I like to call it. I'm your pocket chief marketing officer right there inside of Discord. And so I'll just work with you on your deals. And for me, I get reps, so it's worth it. I get more reps. I mean, last year I did 450 offers myself, and I'm fine with doing more. It's so easy for me. And so we have that. And then on top of that, we also know that people do having training and resources. And so Mark and I, for the span of 3 weeks, recorded 6 calls breaking down his entire process, the whole offer publishing path model. There's 6 live session recordings. Each call is 3 hours long, so they're full of value, unlike any other content you've seen online. And then to make things even easier, we included all the templates, the contracts to protect these partnerships, the proposal templates that close people like Mike Tyson and Floyd Mayweather, the winning cold outreach scripts, 30 days free access to the AI software to find these creators, any template, tool, process you need and that we've used to build, and collectively generate over 8 figures online, we've templated and put together inside of this program. Yes, there's elements of course to it and there's elements of templates, but what's really important is you're going to have me in your corner by your side working on these deals and helping you scale it up. So if you're interested in that, you guys can just comment publisher below and I'll let you send them the link with some of the details. We have another workshop where we go deeper into and let you know more about the offer and the stack. If you're someone who doesn't want to be rushed into a decision, I understand. We're not here to pressure you. So there's that information too on that link, as well as if you have any questions, you can just DM me on Facebook, just Josh Gavin, and I'd love to send you a little voice note back and clear up any confusions or questions that you have.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for sharing that. Also, coming from affiliate background, I made a little offer for folks who are interested in this. Folks, I will drop that below. You can check it out. But yeah, also, if you have any questions, obviously you can ask me, you can ask Josh on Facebook. I need to get you in the group, but I can tag you or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah. Anyways. Any last words, my man? Or should we
Bro,
make it like an hour? Nice
dude.
time.
Well, one, thank you for letting me be here. And yeah, guys, just keep going, keep at it, find what you love, figure out what you don't want to be responsible for. I think that's the biggest thing that helped me is I looked at my life and I said, what do I not want to be responsible for? Not really what do I want, just what do I don't want to be responsible for? And that's what helped me architect this life and this business model that fit perfectly with what I didn't want to do. Like I didn't want to build a brand. I didn't want to be in charge of all the funnels. I didn't want to be in charge of all the tweaking and testing. And there's other people who do. And so it's a perfect mix. And so just figure out like, hey, what do I not want to be responsible for and build a life around that.
Love that. I have one last selfish question. So I started my journey with a podcast and I interviewed a lot of 6, 7, 8 figure earners like Steve Larson, Josh Ford. It's like amazing folks. And I have this obsession to find like what do successful people have in common. So I'm curious, you did multiple 7 figures, you're what, 23?
Yeah.
So if you had to guess, if you had to reflect, again, assuming 9 out of 10 people don't even make $1, and you're so young, you did multiple 7 figures. What would you say looking back on your journey over the last couple of years or however long? What do you have or don't have that makes you different and that allowed you to have the success that you had?
Timing. I feel like that's my biggest thing. Timing markets, patience and timing. I wait for things. Like I had an offer idea, but I waited until I knew the market was ready for it and I saw signs or just like a gut feeling where instead of just launching it just to launch it, I waited and I waited for example, personal branding. If like I wouldn't, if I was like, oh, personal branding would be awesome to teach, I would wait until other people started talking about it, hyping it up or proving it out. And then I would come into the market and be like, see, these people, it really worked for them. Or these people, they're all talking about it. Here's how you can do it. And so I feel like my success has always come from almost like riding trends, but having patience. Like there's this offer I have, I've got so many offers in my mind where I'm waiting for the markets to hit a certain point, different markets all over for me to jump in and capitalize on it. And so I think that's the thing that helped me the most is I looked and I said, and I understood that every solution creates a new problem. You think about Teslas, okay, they solved the problem of not needing gas. Now we have electric cars. What did that create? Oh, problem, of not enough chargers for everyone. So now how do we solve that? Oh, now another problem comes, not enough coal to make all the electricity. And right, every solution creates a new problem. I was throwing away trash the other day and I was thinking about Amazon created the problem of there being millions of cardboard boxes out there now. It's like someone probably built a business that helped get rid of these cardboard boxes or recycle them, but that didn't exist until Amazon created that problem with their solution. So I look at what solutions are people selling, what problems do they create, how can I make money solving those new problems? So I think that's what helped me.
That makes a lot of sense now that you're doing offer publisher because I notice like successful offers come from exactly what you just said. It's like finding the gap in the market, noticing
Yep.
and fulfilling on it. And I think that's why I have such a good knack for offers. Anyways, thank you so much for being here, folks. If you want to learn more about the model, again, you can either comment below. I'll drop the link. You can learn more. And you mentioned the workshop. Will you give me the link to give them that as well? Or
Yeah,
must
for sure.
you mention something?
Yeah, it should be on your affiliate link that you have. Should be there. So it should take them right to that
Oh,
replay we have, but I can also send it too.
awesome. Thank you. And thank you again for coming and sharing this with us. I'm falling in love with this model, I'm not gonna lie.
That's the best. Appreciate it, dog.
Awesome. Thank you, folks, and thanks for everyone tuning in live. See you around, folks.